Okay, so the next function will be get authors. So let's copy this first function called get language and paste it right underneath. If we change the name of the function to authors and slightly modify our SQL statement, which will be we want to select everything from authors table, and again we want to order by name. So that's all fine. Then srch will be author rather than language. Same thing for the ID. Obviously we want any author rather than language, and the ID stays the same, and the name as well. Okay, so our get authors function has been created. We can copy the name of it, go to our index.php page, authors, and replace the non-breakable space with the opening PHP tag, name of the get authors function, and closing PHP tag. Now if we go back to our browser, refresh the page, you can see all of our authors are already displayed here. Okay, let's go back to Dreamweaver, go back to our functions. Next one will be categories. So copy on our authors function, paste it underneath, and rename it to get categories. And get categories will be populating all the records from categories table. Okay, srch category, okay, category, and ID as well. Okay, any category, and we can leave the rest as it is. So again, copy the categories, get categories function, name, and in a cell for category, let's display that function, go to the browser, refresh, and you can see we've got all of our categories displayed. Okay, if we go back to Dreamweaver, next function will be a little bit different, but the main structure will remain the same. So if we copy the categories, paste it underneath, and let's rename it to get years. And now what we need to do, we need to use one of the MySQL functions to get only the year from a date field. So from books, and we want to order all of the records by date released. Okay, and now copy this date released and select. We will be selecting distinct, which means if there are more records which have been released, more books which have been released in the same year, then distinct will only display this specific year just once. So distinct allows us to display specific record just once, even though there are multiple occurrences of this record inside of the specific column. So select distinct, and we want to use another function. I want to use the function of MySQL called year from the field date released, and we want this to be available to us as year. So now what we need to do, we need to have a look at down here when we actually echoing the entire drop-down menu. First of all, obviously we need to change our search category to search year, and the same about ID, and select any year. Okay, and now as the value we will be displaying year, as we are converting the date, this date released. By using this function, we rename it to year, and we also want to display as a label. We also want to display a year. So the year, the year actually populated from a date will be displayed in the URL as well as the label displayed inside of the option tag. So that's all fine. We can save the file, copy the name of the years function, get years function, go to our index.php, and display this function on the page. If we go back to our page, refresh, and you can see all of the 3 years which have been used inside of the books table. Okay, so that's everything with our drop-down menus. In the next video, we'll have a look at how to create a function to display our radio buttons.